Our topic for today's presentation is ancient Chinese philosophy. Origin of mankind. The great cows resembling a huge egg in shape, the ancestor of all things is the giant pangu who has been sleeping for 18,000 years in the egg of cows. The exit of the giant pangu from the egg led avoid cows to destruction by concentrating everything light and dry above and heavy, wet below. Sky and earth were formed out of cows. After the death of Pangu, from his body arose the sun. From his body arose the sun and the moon from the eyes, thunder from the voice, wine from exhalation, rivers from blood, roads from veins, stones and minerals from bones, teeth, etc. Men arose from parasites crawling on the body of Pangu, or they were molded from clay by the goddess Nuba.
I Ching, Book of Changes by Qian Junsan, the earliest of the Chinese philosophical texts. It consists of 64 symbols or hexagrams, each of which express a particular life situation in time from the point of view of its gradual development. The symbols consist of 6 features. The features indicate the successive stages of development of a given situation. It's generally believed that the features are read from the bottom up, although there is also a reverse interpretation. The sequence describes the development of the situation. Confucius assessed the significance of this work in this way: if it was possible to prolong life, then I would give 50 years to study the translation. I would have been able not to make mistakes. The Book of Changes comes first classical books of Confucianism and in the bibliographic studies of Chinese literature.
Jing is the energy of the origin of all things, the root, the seed of the living organism. Qi is a material and spiritual energy that serves as the building material of all things. Shen is an indestructible spiritual energy that forms the core of the human personality and does not disappear after death. The Yin-Yang school was founded by the polymath Dou Yan. The Yin-Yang school taught that all things were in a constant state of flux between being action, yang principle, and non-being inaction, in principle, and the recognition of this pattern explains the natural world as well as one's place in it. Everything in life was the constant transference of energies of yin and yang, and this maintained balance. Once one realized how the world worked, one would understand that it worked for all people in the same way, not just oneself, and this would unite people in understanding. So yang represents male energy, yin represents female energy. The oldest national philosophical teachings in China are Taoism, Confucianism, legalism, and Moism. Taoism is the doctrine of the Tao or the way of things. Taoism origin is Lao Tzu mountain. Taoism is the oldest philosophical doctrine about the unified world law and the way of living in harmony with nature and the natural order of things. The main sources are the philosophical treatises Dao Jing, the Jing that equal to Dao De Jing. The basic concepts of Taoism. First, Tao is the natural way and the law of changing all things, their emergence and disappearance. Second, Te means grace, the energy emanating from above, thanks to which the original Tao was transformed into the world around. And third, Wu Wei is non-action, lack of purposeful activity, the principle of non-interference in the natural order of things and the course of events. Main ideas of Taoism. Everything in the world is interconnected. There is a cycle of matter in nature. Everything comes from the earth and goes into the earth. The world order, the laws of nature, the course of history are immutable and do not depend on the will of man. Therefore, the main principle of human life is peace and non-action. Wu Wei. Man occupies a middle position in the world. He must overcome the split of the world into two principles: yang, light, and yin, darkness. A person must follow the natural course of things, observe the measure of things. A person can be immortal both in body and soul. Taoism teaches a contemplative attitude towards life. Bliss is achieved not by those who strive to win the favor of the Tao by good deeds, but by those who, in the process of meditation, immersion in their inner world, strive to listen to themselves and through themselves listen and comprehend the rhyme of the universe.
So let's talk about Confucianism. Confucianism is the oldest philosophical school that considers a person primarily as a participant in social life. The main source is work of 论语, conversations, and judgment. A sovereign should be a sovereign, a dignitary is a dictionary, a father is a father, and a son is a son. So the main issue solved by Confucianism, that is how should people be managed. Noblemen headed by a sovereign are called to govern the state. The next point is how to behave in society, to live in society and for society. So to give in to each other, obey to elders in age and rank, obey to emperor, to restrain oneself, to observe moderation in everything, to avoid extremes, to be human. The main categories of Confucianism are the concepts of a noble husband, humanity, and the rules of ritual. A noble husband is a model of the normal perfection, a man who asserts the norms of the morality with all his behavior.
Legalism. Legalism is a political philosophy created by Han Feizi 250 years before our century. Han Feizi discussed how rulers should rule and maintain power. Legalist philosophy suggests that people are evil by nature. Because of this, a ruler must be strict and have harsh punishments.
Maoism. Mao Tzu's philosophy is based on the idea of returning to the tribal system. He opposed Confucianism's division of society into classes as well as humiliating and formal ceremonies. Mao Tzu stands for building a state where love, humanity would flourish and there would be no wars and violence.
Thank you for attention.